name is Erin Lynham, and I am the author of 936 Pennies, Discovering the Joy of Intentional Parenting. My husband Grayson and I live in northern Colorado with our 3 boys, Ezekiel, Allison, and Wayland. We thought we were done after 3 boys. Our house can get pretty loud and messy and chaotic, but then we got our little surprise, our cherry on top, Aurora Jane. The heart behind 936 Pennies happened a few years back when our second son was 1.5 years old, and our pastor gave us a gift, and it was a jar of 936 pennies. And he told us that every penny in that jar represents 1 week that we have with our child between birth and 18. And he challenged us to remove a penny every week to remind us that the time is fleeting and our days are numbered. Our first task was to remove 72 pennies. Ellison was already 1.5 years old. And I know that we as parents feel it so often, that these days go by so quickly. And it's hard to think about that, to realize that, and to feel like we can't get that time back. And so what we ended up doing was setting up a second jar, so that now every week we move a penny over from the first jar to the second jar, so that we don't look at that first jar and feel so overwhelmed by the time already gone. But instead we look at that second jar as it's building up, and we realize we are investing in their eternity, in their story, in their legacy, and that made all the difference for us. The book is rooted in Psalm 90:12. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. And that was my aim in the book. How do we become more present so that we make the most of the moments and the opportunities that are all around us every single day? How can counting time, numbering our days, moving a penny over every week, how can that change the words that we speak to our children and the words that we choose to hold back? How can that change how we interact with our spouse and how we make our marriage the center of our family? How can it influence how we lean into time, to steward it well, to enjoy it fully, to remember it completely? Counting time changes how we live. We stop throwing our days to the wind to see what catches, and instead we grasp them. We take hold of them. And God, He is always a penny ahead of us. He sees the whole picture, and He brings beauty out of these days.